mate.
I don't know. Just yell out when you want me to go live, and I'll start her up, kick her off
I
whenever.
can fucking wait. Fuck 'em. It's only work. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go, brother. Let's rock and roll it.
All right. I'll just head over. Rightio. Welcome, punters. Welcome, Muzzer. Stick around as we deep dive into the weekend's group races. Sports and racing's on fire at the moment. Get involved this weekend's $20 weekend starter. Get access to all sports and racing this weekend. We've had a good day yesterday. We got $10 roughie home and best value at $5. How's everything up your end of the world, Muzzer?
Mate, I've just checked into a nice little hotel on the Gold Coast. I'm going to spend 3 days here in Surfers, but it's pissy down rain. So, um, it is what it is. And my little boy that drew the red in one of the races just before he hit the running rail and broke a leg. So they're determining whether they're going to put him down or whatever. So, part of racing, but it's also sad that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It happens that way, especially always. It always happens to the good ones, never happens to the spastics, the ones that can't
Yeah.
race. You don't want it happening to any of them, you know what I mean? It's always a
Nah.
sad sight to see. It's part of racing, part of
Yeah.
life. People live, people die, people get up. It's just a part of racing. So,
Way it goes,
but
isn't it?
yeah, a bit sad because he sort of drew the red. I knew that the seven would be hard to beat. It ended up winning, running crazy time, but it would have been nice to run, placing in the final, but it wasn't to be. But we're ready to go, mate. And
Before we kick
we've
off,
got Melbourne and Sydney.
do you want to tell them about the piece of memorabilia and the winner that you
Oh
tipped in
yes, yes,
Newmarket?
yes.
Don't forget the
So
Newmarket.
we've had a we've had a couple of messages, private messages coming up, going, "Oh, we're seeing that it's sort of not going really well, and people aren't supporting it, and whatever. Why don't you sort of lift it up?" I bought two tickets. I wouldn't mind buying four or five. So, taking that into consideration, the only reason I put a limit is I didn't want someone buying 10, 20 tickets and people missing out. I just
Yeah.
wanted it to share between everybody. And as I said, and I didn't say it last week, but I get behind the children's ward here on the Gold Coast, the cancer ward. I go out and I buy colouring books and pencils and all sorts of stuff and iPads and stuff. So the majority of the stuff that we do on this page here with you guys, that a majority, a portion of what goes through will go into that, and I take photos and I'll put them up online so you can see that, not only are we doing, you guys getting a nice piece of memorabilia hung up on your wall, but, we're supporting a good charity. And as you all sort of know, I'm going through it at the moment. I only put the hat on because I won't say what I look like. I look like a chopper chop. Um, it doesn't phase me, but it's close to me too. You know what I mean? So we all got the struggles in life. Everyone's a bit different, but we sort of help when we can, and it's fun. And I hate it because you see the kids, and you think why the kids, and but it is what it is. It helps them. They get a grin on their face, and you can colour and books, and because I don't donate because I just don't know where the money goes to. I'd
Yeah.
rather spend $1,000 or $2,000 and buy an iPad or buy books and colouring pens and
Give it
shit
to
that I
them.
buy for there. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so but we're going to open it up, I think, Jason. So, anyone that wants to buy, and those that have bought tickets before, there's a few of you in there. If you do want to buy some extra ones, please feel free to do it. I didn't want to share it with other, platforms and other things. I only wanted to keep it with us, with our members, with our, free posts and what we've got on here. But we'll see how we go. We may have to open it and share it because I do want to sort of try and get that done. And there's a little
By the way.
date, I think, towards the end of May that the Gold Coast Hospital doing something for the kids. So I want to try and get something organised for that. But anyway, see how we go. But mate, it's a beautiful piece, and again, it doesn't justify. You can't see how nice and how beautiful the piece is until it's in your hands. But framing it up and doing it, it's a monster piece, and it'll just look absolutely magnificent hung on someone's wall. So, but anyway,
Beautiful.
let's see how we go, and maybe, well, you should, because we've given you a couple of good tips. Like last week, we did all right, didn't we?
And I have to
We
say,
had a couple of nice little wins there.
one of the punters messaged me last weekend. She's now got on two of your roughies. You tipped the winner of the Newmarket Cabalas at $30.
Yep.
She told me to
Yep.
tell you thank you and keep tipping the roughies. So I
Yep.
just thought
Hey,
I'd give a
hold on one
shout out
sec,
to
Mary.
you for
Take that
tipping
for me.
these
Mary,
value ones.
take that for me. Take that for me. Go on over and take it
Rightio.
now. Go, 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 quick, quick, quick. Hang on. Sorry, it's the trainer trying to work out what's the. Grab it, will you?
You're all right. If
I
you got to
just
take
want
the
to know
ball,
what's
mate,
going
take
on with
it.
the dog. Like, just
If you
tell
got
him
to take
I'm
it,
doing
take it.
this and I. No,
If
no,
you
no,
got to
mate. All
take it,
good. All right, let's fire up.
rightio. We'll kick it off. We're going to start with Caulfield race two. Um, I'm not even going to bet in this race. I'm not overly keen on. I've gone with number one, O2 Good, $4.60 to win. A proven first up performer. Even though the distance is a little bit below its preferred, it should settle right behind Gentle Steel and get the run of the race. Photograph the danger if he brings his best, but on a good track, I can't tip Photograph. Sure. What's your thoughts on race two at Caulfield?
Yeah, well, mate, because my lovely wife that answered the phone then to my trainer, the dog's on the way to the vets. You took my stuff there. Again, as I said, it's this meeting, I mean, towards the end, the 9 and 10 and some of the races in Sydney, fucking on a Saturday, it's horrendous. They are just absolutely horrendous. But I've gone real wide in this race.
Yeah.
I just think it's just there's a lot of them that are good horses and coming in and bad barriers. I've gone for the 8 Gentle Steel,
Yeah.
um, 2 for 2 this prep and going well. I've gone the danger would be Photograph. I think he's the one to beat. I've gone against my Hayes boys, but I just think Jamie's got the runs on the board with this horse, and I just think he'll go well. I think it just jumps straight to the front and probably be hard to catch. So I've got 8, 7, and 6, always enough. $18. He's sort of doing enough to run a place in a race like that. Again, very open. So 8, 7, 6 in race 2.
Rightio. On to race three. I think the favourite's a good bet here. In a good, it's drawn well. Harry's Yacht, $2.30. Looks well placed. We tipped this horse last start when winning at $9. Drawn ideally to settle right behind the speed. Set by Foxenberg and Alduca. Should be running over the top late.
Yeah, look, you're right. He's the one to beat, but like you know me, I always want him. I always want favourites to get beat. So I've gone for El Duca. I think the runs are on the board for him. 3 first up runs for a win and a couple of placings.
Yep.
Drawn sort of reasonably well. Not a overly. There's not a lot of speed in there. I think he could lead. Clearly, the 4's the one to beat for second, and I've thrown in the top weight. I just think fourth up, he's knocking on the door, and I don't know if he can beat those two, but definitely a chance to run top 3. So I've gone 5, 4, 1.
Beautiful. Right, off to race five. I've gone with number 6, High on the Hill, getting around $5 a win here. Showed a good turn of foot to win last start, drawn well to track the speed, and should be running on well late in a pretty open race.
Yeah, it is. I looked at that's a lot of chances in that race. I stuck it through my little computer thing, and I've come up with 2, 5, and 4 in that.
Yep.
I've come up with the 2, Rashia, another Hayes horse. I think it's from where it sits, should be sitting third or fourth in the run home. And I think it should it's a very open race. A lot of
Mm.
horses, good horses are drawn bad barriers. Shit horses are drawn good barriers. 1,200 meters. It's horrible. So I've gone 2, 5, and 4.
Rightio. On to race six. All the only notes I've got for race six, I've wrote horrible race. What do you like, Muzzer? So there's nothing for me in that one. I cannot stand it.
Yeah, look, I only do them just to try and help punters out. I did it through
Yeah.
my system, and what do we got here? My guys, my numbers are 5, 6, and 12. And again, in that race, I've left the favourite out, the $2.70 favourite, Sir Atlas.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. And I mean, you haven't tipped it. So there's a lot
He,
of better horses than that currently going around at the moment. So, on statistics and barriers and stuff like that, all going to plan, I've got 5, 6, and 12.
Well, you don't know where Sir Atlas is going to end up in that field.
No,
He'll obviously get
no,
back, so you're not
no.
sure how it's going to play either.
No, we don't know if it's going to be a leaders track again, biased again. You know what I mean.
A lot
So
of the
also,
time it
and you
is.
don't
So
know. Didn't they predict some rain?
I don't think we're going to get much. No, I think it'll be a good
Okay.
track. They're saying a good track, I think.
Yeah.
Rightio,
Well,
race seven.
race
Race
7.
race seven. I've gone with number two, Neil. $12. Has won one start last prep in a small field. Has been gelded and absolutely smashed him in a recent jump out win, showing sustained speed. Well placed here at the $12 in an open race.
This is the thing. You've got horses here that won races, horses that are maidens, horses that haven't had a
Exactly.
first start. I can, chuck a dart at them. I've gone for the 10, Miss Chanel, one of Gay Waterhouses. I think 1200 will suit it. Shitty barrier. I don't know where it's going to end up. It's got good pace.
Yeah.
Um, they go forward on it. I'm not sure, and that's the thing. From the 3, Big Wigs again hasn't won a race, but knocking on a door. And it was a couple of nice runs in there at 550, and the 4. I want to look for some improvement on this. I had a look at the trial, I had at the race, and I've been looking at what he's done in there. He's $23. I'm not going to say he's going to win, but he just raced horribly. He laid in, and he looked like he was just drunk. He just didn't really. He didn't look like a racehorse.
Yeah.
And the saddler, I mean, he's not a spastic. He wouldn't have a horse in a race like this in town if it wasn't any good.
Yeah.
So barrier 2, one start for a third. You know, mate, $23. I honestly think from the 2, if it's not going to lead, it'll get a sit. And who knows? Look for the improvement. $23 and $5. He's my roughie for the day. He is
No.
race 7, number 4. Look for improvement, but I've gone 10, 3, and 4.
Beautiful. Rightio, race 8. I've gone with Buckaroo, $2.80. Just missed last start behind Pericles. Looks the form to follow. Will be fitter. Second up, the rise to 1800 metres, which is a winner over previously. Looks ideal. But I'm not betting this race either. But that's who I'd be betting on if I was.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a whisper about a Freedman horse down the bottom, Chief Little Rock.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if he's. They think he can win the race. My guys say that he's going well enough to win that race. So I don't know. He's at 950. I'll put him on top because again, it is an open race. I've gone in that race, race 8. I've gone 7 to beat the 2, Buckaroo, clearly the one to beat, and one of my favourite horses, and the 5, Birdman, the one of Waller's. I think he's just ready and right. I don't know where he's going to sit. Barrier 6, 1800 metres, but yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a sniff on Chief Little Rock. Again, I'm not making him a good thing, but 1800, barrier 5.
It's its first start in Australia too, is it?
Really start talking about Jamie Mellon, which I can start shooting jockeys. But hopefully he can ride it better than the last ride that we backed yesterday. But yeah, I've just gone in that race, tough race, 7, 2, and 5.
Beautiful. Rightio, race 9. This is Vobis Platinum Guineas over
Oh,
1600
fucking
metres.
horrible race.
It is. I've found
Worst,
some value though, but
worst race on the card.
it is, yeah.
Uh,
I've got two selections in this at odds. I think they could both run all right. Um,
yep.
my top selection at $35 and $8 a place. Number 14, Star of Omaha. First up, absolutely flew home over 1100 metres. Last prep, it did run over 1600 metres at Mooney Valley, but led on that occasion. So I'm thinking they're trying it different here and taking a sit if it does and finished off like it did last start. I think this horse can run into the money out 1600 metres at good odds. And my other selection, I don't mind different gravy. It may need the run, but at $7.50, Has won over 1,600 meters previously. Progressive type. Will get back early, and if they're running on, this horse can definitely run into the money. It's worth following this prep again.
Yeah.
What's your
Look,
thoughts?
this is a race where I really wanted to keep out because, good horses, different gravies, drawn 16. There's some really good horses in there down the bottom weight that I like. The Storm Leopard drawn 15. You can't fault that. Pavlich makes 101. 3 starts, 3 times in the money. Um, I just, you know what I mean? How do you have that? I understand it's a different, kettle of fish, but he's in there for a reason. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
it's $101. I mean, what's the horse done wrong? 3 starts, 1 win, 2 placings. Understandably different class, but it's just a bloody horrible race. It really, really is. I only tipped it because I sort of had to. So I've gone 5, 7, and 3. So I've gone for the 5 Diamond Gust at $17
Yep.
to beat Yippee or fucking whatever they call it. He's had 2 starts. One of the Freedmans again. They said he's going around really, really nice. And the 3, it's Azura again, shitty barrier, but I really like it. I really like it to run a place in that at 13, and chuck yours in there, the 14, and maybe do I think in that, let me just have a look and see. It will be shit. It'll be a top 8.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Nice.
not a bad race, guys. That's not a bad race to chuck the ones we've just said there, plus the 14, which I'll mark down on my sheet now and do a top 8 and pick those 4 or 5 horses and throw them in there. Good value. That's how I've been punting of late, seeing that, the top 8, that's good odds. So just have a little bit of a play with that and see what you've got. And then again, you might like something yourself in there, throw it in and see how you go. But for me, 5, 7, and 3.
Exactly. A lot of these races, you can't really talk any punter out of their own selections, really, can you?
No,
Because
you
when they're
can't.
this
You
open,
can't. No, no, correct,
yeah.
correct, correct, correct. No, you all
Rightio.
guys, I mean, what we're trying to do is supplement sort of a little bit extra for you guys. You guys have your own tips, and that's the beautiful part about punting. Everyone likes their own horses. Everyone's got reasons for their horses. You know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
never ever, if you like something in the race, I've had people go, "Oh, Muzz, you've tipped this. What do you think? Mine's like." And go, "Mate, if you like it, I can't tell you
Exactly.
anything. I haven't got it in my selection. Doesn't mean it's going to not win or not going to."
No.
And look, they've had them. Sometimes they've got up. Some of theirs has got up, and ours have done nothing, and but that's the way it goes, and that's every horse is in a race, and there's not a horse in there that can't win a race.
No.
So things happen, dogs get hurt, horses get hurt, seagulls run across, idiot jockeys they think they're in 1,000 meter race over 200, sit 14 wide, and all that stuff. So take your horses, but what we do here is try and provide an in-depth look into, statistically, what my computer and system does. Jase, mate, he's brilliant on his maidens. Like, I've been doing this for more than 40 years. I haven't found anyone that can find maidens and first starters like this bloke. And he's a genius. And then you guys punt your own. So between myself, Jase, and you guys, yeah, surely, and the safest and best bets are your same race multis. If you like something and I like something and Jace likes something, put them in top 5, top 6, what you can. And I can tell you now, you're going to make more money out of doing that 9 times out of 10 times, because eventually it does. I had a shocking run. The last 5, I picked it, and I picked Cameron to kick the first goal, Brisbane Lions. But he was $11.50. Like, he's a freak. Why would you have him as $11.50? He should have been $3 or $4. You know what I mean? So I just had a lazy 100 on him for fun, and made he kick the
Got
first
it.
goal, and 11.50 jumps in. So all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And I know nothing about AFLs and sports and stuff, but little creepy bloke like that runs around everywhere and picks up the ball every 30 seconds. And I think he kicked like 9,000 goals that day. But he kicked 4 or 5 or 6 or something. So we had a
Beautiful.
blinder. So yeah, guys, do your own stuff, but what Jason and I do, as I said, we add the topping on the cakes for you guys. We do our statistics, we do our bits and pieces, and we love what we do. And we're pretty good at it, and so are you guys. You know what I mean? So we stick all together and see how we do. We mush it all up into a pie, and hopefully we get some good results. But tell your lady friend too, mate. We'll find some more because that's what I love doing. I love finding. I love getting the favourite beats. I love beating the favourites, but you can't lose money also beating, backing favourites. They're favourites for a reason,
If
and
they're the
all the
right,
race goes to plan, mate. They're the ones to beat at the end of
you
the
just got to
day.
get the right price.
All right, let's go to crappy Sydney.
Rightio, Rose Hill Race 3. Um, this is another open race with a couple of Waterhouse runners in it. I have gone with number 2, Lumbini. $14 we're getting here. Wasn't fully pushed out last start against this field, basically, and could have finished closer. Drawn well to settle. Closer speed, capable of running on into the placings at odds. One to watch the betting. Betting with is here Anisham, first starter, Hellenic Bell, who has jumped out really well. And if there's money for it, I'd be following.
Yeah, you just don't know with
Oh,
that. I
mm,
looked at that. It's had a couple of trials, and they just kept it off the speed. They just didn't do anything with it. And I'm thinking, shifty. Zach Lloyd, and you got to respect that. He's going all right. You know what I mean? He's a good little horse. I just, yeah, the speed was on those races, and you might be right. 1200, decent barrier. I got it for second. I put it for second. I think the three will win that Pembury.
yep.
I think it's just going enormous. Don't like the barrier, uh, but I think it's good enough to sort of knock them off. The four, by choice, the Waterhouse stable, nothing wrong. 2 for 2, Tim Clark on it. I think it gets a nice sit off the four. I think it'll just sit out beside the leader, if not lead. And I think it might take a bit of running, sort of running down. So, 310 and 1.
Beautiful. Right, off to another open race. Race 4. Race 4, I've gone with High Alert. I'm forgetting we're getting $21 here or something ridiculous. Forgiving last start on the soft track. Finds a drier track here. Happy to play each way at these odds. Should have won first up. Looks and each way play at odds. I'm only playing for the odds. Sure
Yeah,
thought
I've
race.
marked this as a really big poopy race. Again, it's just hard to settle down with it. Favourite, it deserves to be favourite, I suppose. I think we can knock it off with my old mate, Woven.
Oh yeah.
I think we can knock it off with Bjorn Ball, the two. The two to beat the 5
What happened to
and
it last
1.
start?
8
What happened to War Woven last start?
didn't go really good, did it?
Yeah, what? Yeah, was there any excuses behind it, or not sure?
Look, I haven't heard. I don't know. Uh, I just it just didn't look right in the race. I watched the race a couple of times. It just didn't look like the War Woven that won the first two. You know what I
First,
mean?
yeah.
So you got to give that another chance. Barrier 10. Don't know where it's going to end up. Rachel's 1-2 on it, so she's won the 2 races on him. She's back on. Did she ride him his last start? Yeah, she rode the last start. Well, didn't get beat far. And again, you can make some, noise for Star of Jamaica too. You know what I mean? I think it's got a good chance in there. Barrier 9, it comes out like a scolded cat. So, does it come out early? Does it, again, you just don't know sort of where you go there. But funny race. Yeah, funny race that. So I'll just go 2, 1, and 5.
Beautiful. Race 5. I've got not overly keen on this race. Bring your magic muzzer. That's all I've got
It's
for
a
race
horrible
5.
race. I've got, yeah, oh, this is a horrible race too, mate. You know what I mean? Look, the 2,000 meters, as I said, I put it through my little machine that I use, and I came up with the Gay Waterhouse horse just fine. Clearly, the class horse in the race, Irish horse, 2,200. It's nothing for them. It's just a canter. It's had a lot of time off. Uh, doesn't have a, it's not, it's one of those typical Irish horses. Like I own a horse that they just have no, when they're pushed, they just have no get up and go. They just grind. So it's a grinder. So look, if they go hard, um, you know, I think it'll go all right. It's another thing too for a horse like this. It likes to be out front dictating. So if it can get an easy, few sections and pick up the pace without speeding and going silly, I actually think it's probably the one to beat in there. I wouldn't go crazy. The two was scratched, so I've gone for the one. I put the one in there, and I put the five, Watton Vernon, the favourite. It's done nothing wrong. It's had 5 starts for 4 wins and second on the distance. So clearly, again, wait for a horse, international horse. I just think it's ready to do some damage also. So watch the international horses in that, the 3 and 5. Yeah, and the two and the one and the two scratch, so the one. So, but yeah, I've gone for the gauge just in front. So I've gone for the 3 to beat the 5 and 1.
Beautiful. And of course,
Thanks for
Vauban.
the pressure too, mate. Thanks for
No
the
worries.
pressure too, mate.
Vauban is the ex Melbourne Cup favourite for a few years back, isn't it? Vauban, I think.
Yeah.
Rightio. Race 6. Um, I've gone with number 3, Flying for Fun in the Dry Sky High Stakes. Sorry, in the Toyota Forklifts Morris McCarthy, whatever it is, Group 3. Number 3, Flying for Fun. Barrier 1. First up, trialled up well. Very open race. We'll settle right behind the speed and hopefully can run over the top late. About $7.50 to win. What's your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, this is a funny race. I would have liked to tip enriched
Enriched.
enriched. Yeah.
I tell you what,
I
$9,
just
$10.
I had him really close.
Yep.
Um I just had him really close in that race, race 6, but I ended up tipping it and went with the favourite King's Secret. I just think the same thing. It's done nothing wrong. Drawn to get every single opportunity to make it 3 out of 3. Um, if you're a trial form guy, mate, have a look at his last trial. Come from absolutely nowhere and just squashed them. So on that run, barrier 2, I think he's definitely the one to beat. One that I also liked in there is Mel Coop, number 8.
Mm,
Um, Again, nothing wrong. Last 5 starts, 5 wins,
yeah.
and $8. Different class, understandable. Coming back in trip, but up in class, again, the question mark. But how do you knock a horse that's won its last 5?
Yeah.
You
And
know
it's
what I
been,
mean? At $8 and can
been
jump
good.
out and lead. So,
Mm,
that's the thing. So I've gone for 4 to beat the 8 and the 1 to run third.
beautiful. Now we're off
This
to
is your race. This is your race, mate.
there's a $1.60 favourite in. I'm betting around that. I've not even had to bet the race, but I don't mind race 7, number 13, Soverado. Bottom weight, 54 kilograms. Karen McAvoy in the saddles. It's rising well in grade. Just missed last start. Heaps harder here, but is drawn to get the run of the race. Looks a good place value if you can sneak into third.
Look, the only question is, will he run the distance?
Mm,
Class above him, there's no other horse in that race that can win that race if that horse can come up to $1,600 and win the 60s. So I really can't tip against him at the moment. He's done everything right. You know what I mean? He's gone third over 1,600. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, dropping back to 1,500, barrier 11. A couple of question marks, but mate, I've just tipped him and nothing else in the race. I just think he's a good
yeah, well,
thing
he
tomorrow in
probably
that race.
he's a step above. No,
It's just a horrible. It's a horrible bunch of horses in that race
yeah,
compared to what he's done. So if you look at that, if you put all the 10 horses or whatever, the 12, 13 horses together and see what they've done and see what he's done, clearly he's a class above them. So I don't think they can do what he can do. But, barrier 11, we always look for the favourites to get beat. Oh, I just don't think he'll get beat tomorrow. Anyway, we could be wrong. Let's see how we go.
rightio. Now we're off to race 8, another open race. I'm going with Arctic Glamour. I thought it was a good run last start. Finished off well. getting double figures here. Flew home. First up, just missed. Will be fitter and appreciate the rise in distance. Drawn ideally £2. Second up at odds. What's your thoughts on race 8?
Mate, he's my black booker. You must have been pervert on my shoulder the other day and looked at my tips. He's my best bet of the day.
Is he? Oh, there you go.
Arctic Glamour. I like him. I just think tomorrow's his day. Barrier 1.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll get a nice sit. He'll be sitting behind the leaders. I don't think he has the speed to go with the leaders. He'll be midfield. That's my only problem with him. He's strong barrier 1. So if Tommy doesn't get him out, we could have a problem. But if Tommy can get him settled, in the middle of the field, worst case scenario, and can get him into a nice spot, the 600 mark, coming around the corner, I honestly think that horse is the one to beat. Its last 600, I think, last week was the fastest of the whole day. Ticks everywhere for this horse, and I just, it can go on a soft. Hopefully, it comes back down to a good, but it can run on a soft. And I just think the only thing that might beat this horse is the barrier tomorrow. But yeah, he's my top pick. The 7 to run second, which is Savvy Ali is another black booker of mine. So the 2 black bookers in the race. It's a lot of good chance in that. The 8's a chance in that. And I put the 7, and then I put the 2 to run third, which is Manel. He's knocking on the door to do something a bit special. He can lead. He'll have a nice sit, and I just think his last 2 starts, both run second. He carried 59, 60 kilos. He drops a kilo today. He's done nothing wrong, this horse. He deserves to be top 3 and could take the race out at 10 to 1.
Yeah.
So have something on him also, the 2.
Beautiful.
So 5, 7 and 2.
Beautiful. Rightio. Now off to race 9. I thought it was a big run from Militarized last start. Number 2, just missed first up. Will be fitter here and well placed from the inside draw. Hard to beat with J-Mac in the saddle.
Yeah, I agree. I've tipped the 2. I've tipped the 2 over the 1 Globe, and I've got another black booker in there, Willado, the 5, but I've left it go, and I've just chucked the 7 before that one in there, Executo. I just think look for this horse late. And I can see him flying home, and again I think top 6 in that. So 2, 1 and 7. In another open race to end the night with.
Have you got anything else,
Mate? I've had a look at the Gold Coast. My mate just gave me a couple of little calls and a couple of horses that he likes, and I went through them, and I think they're pretty good chances. So on the Gold Coast, we're going to go race 1, number 7, race 5, number 7, race 6, number 2, and race 9, number 8. So that's race 1, number 7, race 5, number 7, race 6, number 2, and race 9, number 8. Have a play around with those. If you like something yourself and chuck them in the same race multi. I've taken a stupid win thing, like 3 million to 1 or some bloody thing, which I'll post later. Have a bit of fun with. We've been a bit lucky. We've hit a couple there, as our lovely fans said. We knocked one back. They'll born cut up on the fence at 30 to 1. And that's what I mean. These horses, you just don't know what the story is, whether they're good enough to win. Hence, we found it. We said it could win. We didn't guarantee it win. It did win. And at $31, all you need to have is a few bucks on it. Your unit, 2 units, 5 units, 1, whatever you want to do. Never chase. Just put what you're comfortable with and have a bit of fun. That's what it is. But and that's what I like about what we do. We don't tip favourites. And look, they can win races, but favourites can also get beat, and you look for value, and every now and then one gets up, and which we've been doing quite well. So I'm quite happy with my little sheet and the old way we used to do them, write them on the old piece of paper, sort of stuff like that. So, yeah. So anyway, that's us for the day. Let's hope it stops raining. I'm sitting on the 17th floor of a beautiful hotel here on the Gold Coast, and it's raining.
What's the plan? Are you going to the races tomorrow, are you? Or?
No, mate. Look, we're just going to kick back. The bride and I. We've had a bit of a hectic stuff, and and the chemo for me it's not knocking me. to be honest, it's not affecting me or anything. But it's just nice just to get away and not
Yeah.
being. And we're only 20 minutes from home, and it's
Yeah.
just nice, mate. Sit in a room, go for walks, and you know, I'm not going to go to races tomorrow, but I will have. I'm going to have a nice smack on the one you and I like. I just think $15 is ridiculous. I'm going to put in a couple of multis and a couple of place multis and a couple of all ups and see how we go from there. And hopefully, out of the sheets that we've tipped and what you've tipped and what our friends have got, we'll find a winner and make some money.
Very good. Like it.
Yep.
Very nice, Muzz. Rightio, punters. Remember, if you want to get involved for this weekend, we've got the Punters Club, we've got racing and sports, all for $20 just with the weekend starter. So jump online, aussiepropunters.com.au, grab a plan, and hopefully we can pick you some winners in the Punters Club tomorrow.
Yeah, and also the ones that are not members, I want to chuck in. And Jase will back me here. Some days I'll just get on the page. I'll have someone that'll ring me and have 20,000 on something or 10,000 on something, and we follow when it gets up. So those that are not on the page, again, this is not look, get on it, but I do get on there very regularly and at night times and
get good mail.
Jag 18, 20, 15, $10 winners. And, I put them online and unfortunately I get them just before they jump. So in some cases, I don't put them on. But as soon as I get something, and I think last week we put 5 or 6 and 4 of them got up at all nice odds, $8, $10. So, it pays to become a member. And I know Jase will do a great deal for you for what's left of the year or whatever the case may be. But get involved. I mean, all this shit going on with the punting and, what are you losing? What are you winning? And all the bullshit government stuff. That's great. And we all got to follow that. And it's true. Bet to your means. But if you're going to have a bet, you're going to have some fun. You know what I mean? You want to be able to do what you want to do without anyone telling you to, but you just got to be careful with it. Don't let it get over the hand and don't let it get stupid. But to get involved with Jace, as I said, I've been doing this for more than 40 years. I've been approached to get paid to do what I do with Jace, to do it, and I don't. I do it because I love his members, and I love his ethics, and he's a great tipper, and we work well together. And I'm not in it for the money. I couldn't give a shit. I've tipped $100 winners, and people want to send me stuff. I'm not interested in that. I just want to see everybody win. I just fucking want to win. I want to beat the bookies. So that's it for me. You know what I mean? And both Jason and I work very hard for it. I own my own bookie racing company and I don't push it. I just do my bits and love doing this with Jason. Absolutely, absolutely love it. So if I get tips and I post them online on the free chat channels, I'll do everything I possibly can. But don't miss out for that few extra bucks. I can tell you now, I can promise you, whatever you tip in between now and then, you'll get it back twice. And that I can guarantee you with the tips that we do. That's guaranteed from me. If you join up and you don't get your money back before the end of the year, I'll give you your money back. There you go. That's from me because I know the capabilities that I do and what Jace does together. And every now and then, Jace and I come up with the same ones and they win. And then Jace will come up with one and I'll come up with one. And then we put them together in a same race multi and win 2,000. He run third, I run fourth. So, I mean, this is why you're here for, to have a bit of fun with us. And, I love it. And whatever I can give you guys, I will. And I'll throw it in the page. And we just want to beat the bookies. I love it. I love the pings. I love the bangs. I love all the shit that comes on my phone at fucking 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Bang, winner, fucking, it's great. It's a great buzz with everybody that's a member on there. And those that are not a member, once you become a member, you'll see what goes on in those chat channels. Everybody's there. Everyone supports everybody. They're a great bunch of guys. There's no dickheads in there. There was a few. I think Jase give them a torpedo and they're gone. So they're a great bunch of guys. Everybody's there. They all banter up every day. There's a couple of weirdos in there. They just, come up but they're great. It's just really is. I'm absolutely buzz to be involved in a page like this. So get in there. Tell Jase, you can hear me now, Jase. I'll back myself up. Whoever joins from here on today, if they don't get their money back by the end of the year, I'll give them their money back. There you go.
Right,
So
yeah.
that's a hit from me. Look, you can always hit me up. I always do. If you need stuff, if you're going to the races and you want a full, spread on something. I don't care. I've done it for people for free. Just speak to Jace or send me a private message and whatever. If you remember, and mate, I'll do the best I can for you and try and get you as many winners as I can and do whatever we can. But it's a must. Push this page, push Jace, get up, load up, get on there. There we go. Money where your mouth time is, muzzer. We're putting it on from today on, Jace. So you work a deal
Yeah.
out for everyone that joins up today. I want to see that fucking thing go off mad. I want to see everything go mad. I want to see everyone join up today.
I might
Mate.
reactivate 50% off code for the weekend, maybe.
Oi! There
That'll
you
get them,
go. Let me
get them
find,
going.
mate. I'll find one for the weekend, and they'll just stuff everyone up. I'll just find an $18 winner, and everyone has something on it, and I'll pay their fees. So it'll
Yeah,
be a good weekend.
beautiful.
I've got a couple I'm sniffing, and I've got a couple of boys at the races. So you know the capabilities there, Jace. When you see one come up with 2 minutes to jump,
Yep.
yeah, we've had a couple. We've had horses back from 60 and 70 and $80 scratched at the barriers. And we think, why would they scratch them at the barriers? How much money they would lose.
Exactly.
But mate, we have some fun. I love it. Look, it's very passionate for me, even with what I'm going through in my life personally. I don't let it bother me. This keeps me going. You guys keep me going. Jace keeps me going, and we banter and we carry on. And it's a beautiful bunch of people once you get in it. See how you go, guys. But anyway, put your money where your mouth is. Buzzers on. Join up, Jace. Up to you now.
Beautiful. Remember that, lads. Rightio for the weekend. Use the code LUCKY in caps lock. You get 50% off because of Muzzer. Rightio. Thanks,
get
lads.
the Love it. All right, mate. I'll get on to it. I've got my trainer ringing me at the vets. I've got to go.
All right, mate.
Good luck,
Thanks,
everyone.
punters.
Have a great weekend. Be safe. Jace, you and your family. Take care. Love you all. God bless from the Gold Coast.
Good luck for the weekend, punters. We'll see you in premium. See you, mate.